Hey, we're live. I'm really glad you're here because today I'm going to update the 131 method review. If we haven't met before, my name is Karen Wilson. If you've landed here and you're searching and you're wondering what this 131 method is all about, I'm here to help you answer all those frequently asked questions, what exactly is the diet? Like, can we just like address that, please? Like, what is the whole method like? Can you do it on your own? And the cost, like, let's talk about the cost for a second. Is it actually worth it? I'm also going to talk with you if you are already using the 131 method, or if you're like wondering if the cost is worth it, how to get a return on investment. So, if this is your first time meeting me, my name is Karen Wilson. I create videos to help you move the needle faster, further, with clarity, confidence, consistency, and just actually moving forward in whatever that might be. So whether it's health or whatnot. Enough about me. I really, really value your time, and since I am live, I won't be like editing this stuff out. So let's get on with it. I have my notes here. Uh, so let's just address the diet. Like, what exactly is it? So it's actually a pattern. So if you've heard that it's just like a keto diet, or you can do it on your own, I would kind of challenge that. I'll say right off the bat, if anyone tells you that it's just a keto and elimination diet, I'm sorry, but I don't think that they have completely completed the program. It's more like an information program. So it helps the user really get in tune with their own body and how their body works. Yes, we do visit a ketogenic lifestyle, but it is more of a plant base. And that's actually a point where you kind of get to set the body. However, one of the things that has kind of been a confusion is that you don't really follow really anything like it. Sometimes people have felt as though, well, I'm not really sure what to do, and this is where this is different. Like, if it was a diet like everybody has gone on and off, you would have like a logistic type of rules. Now they have made it a little bit easier for the busy person and said, look, we get it. You're busy. Here's a template that you can follow. Here's all the recipes, like an actual template of a meal plan that you can follow, because we understand that you don't have the time to create a meal plan. This is something that's going to work. But for that person, if they don't like jive in to the actual lessons, it might just feel like a diet. And so that's where this is different. So what exactly happens is there's like a ketogenic style phase. Then we go into a phase of intermittent fasting. There's supported fasts, and you're always recommended to go see your doctor if you're not sure if this is for you. I've done several different fasts myself, so sometimes I'll go all in, sometimes I'll just continue on with trying to keep my body in fat burning, because that's kind of like a nutritional ketosis type thing. Then you take a little bit of a break and transition into a more plant-based, following the same kind of pattern. And then after that changes, that's when you start introducing more of a macro phasing style. So that's when the magic happens. And I find, unfortunately, it doesn't matter what it is, but statistics show that people kind of fall off the wagon, and no matter what it is that they start, whether it's fitness or nutrition or whatever, after about 5 weeks. So a lot of times what happens is people stop and then they start again at the beginning. So I would encourage you, if you're watching this and you've stopped and you're wondering if you need to go back to the beginning, I would just recommend just to continue to listen to the lessons and follow the pattern through the full 12 weeks, because then you're actually getting the full thing. And a lot of times the magic happens in the last 4 weeks. For me, that's when I finally, realized that I was actually no longer carb sensitive. That's when I lost the most amount of my girth. Was in the last cycle, when you would think, like, before, I used to like blow up like a puffer fish. So I'll get on about my results at the end of this video. I don't want you to feel like this is coming from a bias thing. I will, full disclosure, I am an ambassador for the program. I started recommending this program way before that was even a thing. So that brings me to the next question. Can you do it on your own? Okay, so yeah, you probably could. I mean, but when we know more, we like do better. When we know better, we do better. That's the phrase. So if you're doing it as the pattern, but you're not actually understanding the science and what make things tick, and doing things like recording things, and going through the program itself and becoming your own little personal scientist for your body, you're kind of missing the whole concept. So with doing it on your own, you're not connected to a community that is doing the same thing. So it's a little harder. I find sometimes I go into my own little space because I am a busy person. I'm a busy businesswoman. And so sometimes I'm in my own little space and I'm like, I don't really have anyone to talk to about like how I'm feeling right now, because sometimes it's put into a box. So if you talk about fasting, or if you talk about, that you're on a low carb diet, it's an assumption that you're on a diet, and it's kind of more an experimental thing. Um, so how would you like the cost is, yeah, it's for, it is a little pricey. I will say, like, for a program, like I'm kind of like, I don't want to say cheap, but I evaluate things that I'm getting into largely. I do know a lot of other plans out there that require like a lot more of an income investment. This program does not require you to continually buy things monthly. There's no supplements. If you were to go, if you were to have a consultancy with me, let's say, okay, so if we're going to set up a one-on-one, and I'm going to take you through your fitness program, that would probably get you 2 sessions. Okay, so this is actually something that's there. There's a coaching inside. There's nutritionists inside. There's like recipes coming out like every single week. There's access to community. So what is that worth to you? Not to mention the fact that, like I said, is continually being updated, and you have a place where you can talk to people about the stuff that you need to talk about. So how do you get a return on investment? And I talk about this a lot when I'm helping people get started with the program, whether you use my link or you don't. I'm bringing out this information because it worked for me. How to get the return on investment? I was a beta tester. So what I had done is you get all these assessments at the beginning, and because I was a beta tester, I was like, okay, I have to send this stuff in, and I roll with the honesty, right? It's like I have to track everything. I have to give them all the information that I can. So every single day, I would either turn the camera on or write. A lot of times, both. And the first 21 days and after the fast, and as I was testing, what was working for me and what wasn't, I was documenting. So I was becoming more and more self-aware. It was through that self-awareness. Remember when I said when we know better, we do better? It was through that self-awareness that I was able to lock the accountability into me, right? So I sent everything in because I had to. It was part of being the beta process. It's what I had promised to. And I really wanted to be part of the beta processing, like the beta testing in part two, which that was a prerequisite. I had to turn everything in. And I wanted it bad enough that I took the time to do it every day. I have all the video stuff from before. You may have seen it. And I just wanted to do this update because I wanted to just, reverse back here, like back to like 2017 when I started this journey. Like I had, some of the things that I had written down that I wanted to do. That's how you're going to get your return on investment, by writing things down. What it is, what do you expect? Tap into someone like me, which is another ambassador, or maybe do the program because you know that you want to be an ambassador. You know that you want to work in the health field, the nutritional field. And if you go deep into the science of nutrition in a kind of like a new age way, you're going to have a tool that you can help your further clients, right? So it all makes sense. There's so we need to sorry, I'm getting like really excited. I know. It's just we were like brainwashed, I think, from the diet companies for so long. And I might get some hate mail underneath this for saying that, but you know, being in the fitness industry myself and being someone of an endomorph body type, I was always struggling with like, why am I like exercising and why am so much and I'm gaining weight, and why am I, dieting and I'm still gaining weight, and why, if I just look at a pizza, I put on 10 pounds. And I just didn't have any of these answers, and things were just kind of getting worse before they were getting better. Like I was becoming quite dependent on pre-workouts. I have it all written down here. I was like, my hormones were way out of whack. I was having, sorry guys, I was having like my girly time like for 3 weeks out of the month, and that in and of itself was a little annoying. um I was able to, within the first 4 weeks, I started like just really losing weight really fast, but not really so much as it was inflammation and size. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it is I wanted to challenge my personal threshold. I had taken the challenge to run the New York City Marathon, and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? But the 131 method really, not only it set me up for being able to have a really, really strong, really healthy body going into it. But I was able to actually recognize what is my threshold for creating more inflammation through exercise. And I can go into other videos about that. That's not what this is about. But the good news is I did. I ran the marathon. There it is. There's my medal behind me. It was the New York City Marathon, and there's my cape. And if you go back to like one of my first videos, I had just signed up for it, and I was actually having some inflammation issues, especially in my posterior. Well, not only was I able to rid that, but I was able to go on and run the marathon my way, my style, figure out where the threshold was. And and I also knew I had an antidote. So yes, running a marathon is hard on the body. It's hard on all the cortisol meters and everything like that. But I was actually I knew that I was coming home to an antidote. And so by saying that, all the inflammation and all of that I kind of induced in myself in the last couple of months, um, before the marathon has now gone. So you can see my full results of a full 12-week you know thing. I will link the video below. A full 12-week cycle, pardon me. And over the course of a year of practicing the 131 method terminology, not perfect, okay, like not perfect, but over the course, I lost 13 pounds and 13 inches. In the last couple of months of marathon training, I will be full disclosure, full honesty. I was not doing 131 method, and I was like exercising a lot, like it's a marathon, and I did feel my body plump up a little bit. But again, that was just I knew, like I said, that I had the antidote, and it's more so inflammation than weight gain. And instead of like bashing myself for saying, "Oh, you gained weight," I had all the science and the knowledge and whatnot behind me. Like I knew and I understood physiologically what was happening. Um, so is that worth it? I don't know. What's the price of freedom? If it's your time, if you feel so called to do that, and if you want to work with me, please send me a message, Karen Wilson online at gmail.com. I'll make sure that you get set up with me as someone that I can mentor you through the program. You don't need me to succeed. There's plenty of mentors, but I will hold you accountable to sending me in the assessment forms and staying connected with you weekly, at least for the first 4 to 6 weeks, because the whole goal is that you be independent through this. If you are sitting there and you're thinking, "Oh, this is my last hope. This is the last thing that's gonna, you know, work for me," I have to tell you with all the love in my heart, you have to believe in yourself and you have to do the work. You have to listen. You have to write things down. You have to become self-aware. Otherwise, if you're entering this as another diet, that's all it's going to be. If you want a solution, dig deep and understand why you're doing this, and tune in to all the testimonies of the people. Go to the link below, check out all the testimonies. And as being one of the first to test this program out, I can I can share with you. I've seen things that it's just blown away what we can do with our health and our nutrition. When we know better, we do better. I thank you for being here. If you have any questions and like me to go more into detail, I would like to do a series on this that is more targeted with 131 and running, 131 and exercise. If you have any other questions that are targeted, please leave them below. And I appreciate you spending this time with me. I hope you found this informative. And yeah, we're heading into 2019 as this is being recorded. And if wellness is on your plate, I think, we get along fine. It's good. Okay, I'm going to say bye now because this is like kind of when I draw it along. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.